Ladies and gentlemen, in today's lecture, I would like to talk about student neurolinguistic programming. I'll be teaching you about Wernicke area and Broca's area, even motor cortex. I'll be talking about stress management. In today's world, we have noticed people, they are worried. They are having a lot of flood of information, but they don't know how to do smart work, to generalize information, to distort, as our mind is having tons of informations and information. There is a flood of information which is coming onto us. So how we are going to control and manage all this information? As students, they are worried how to remember certain things. No, neurolinguistic programming, it provides us a pattern, and it helps us to redesign students' mind. If teacher knows it, he or she will be able to redesign the pattern of the students. For example, neuro mean brain, linguistic mean language, and programming mean model or to design or redesign. So how we are going to redesign student way of remembering, learning, reminding something. So how student learns when we teach certain skills to a student. Now there's a possibility student can even write with left and right brain, even hand as well. He can write either in left or right hand. We can pattern and redesign student way of approaching problems or way of learning. He will be either writing with left or right. He can use the right or left brains. So Paul Broca, he first time he discovered that if there is a left side of brain, there is a problem. Student or persons, he will not able to produce something, to speak something. So Broca's area, it is related to our brains, which is existed in the left side of the brains, and if there is a problem in this side of the brain, student or person is unable to speak something, to produce something. On the right side of brain, there is Wernicke's area. It was discovered by the Wernicke's. He was a German physiologist and not anatomist. He discovered that if right side of the brain, if it is having problem, student or person will not be able to receive something. One is related to produce something, another is related to perceive something, receive something. And there is one important thing as well, which controls our muscle, which is known as a motor cortex. Motor cortex, in fact, it controls our muscle. So how does it control? It controls all the muscles of our body, but as well as it also controls our mouth muscle, brain muscles. All is controlled by motor cortex. So these are three very prominent things. And how to manage stress now? Because it's related to our brain, stress occur when we want to change situation, what we want, what our way of perceiving something. If we change our way of perceiving something, way of thinking something, way of thinking about certain things. Look, we can't change object, we can't change situation, but we can see way of looking at something. This is what in our hand. Look at the river, look at the river streams, they are flowing in their order. But what we can do, we can change our way of thinking. As Epictetus said, it is not event that affects us, it's not event that affects us, it is the way of receiving and reacting and responding that affects us. So we have to change our way of thinking. We are not going to change stream, we are not going to change river, we are going to change looking at the river. This is what can change our life. So you are not supposed to change the river, sea, or because they are object and they can't change themselves. Whatever our minds thinking, mind way of perceiving, this is what we can change. This is our hand. As Stoic philosopher said, you can't change event, you can't change what is beyond your control, but you can change what is in your control. So this is what Stoic philosophers said. This is what NLP programmers said. They say that we have to change our way of perceiving, way of thinking, way of getting ideas. So this is what in our hand. So there are five kind of waves in our brain, which we can, even nowadays we can measure. They are having certain hertz, their speed in our brain, whatsoever happening with us. So there are waves like delta waves, which is having roundabout speed, waves like hertz. If we measure its capacity roundabout 0.1 to 3.5 hertz. Then we have theta waves. In theta waves we have 4 to 8 hertz. Then we have alpha. Mostly whenever we are going to change student way of receiving idea, student way of visualizing, when we are making our student to make visualize certain thing, we will make student mental state and physical state. We will create a balance, mental state and physical state. We take him to the alpha state. So alpha, it's having this wave is in our brain. When we measure this brain, it is about 8 to 12 hertz. So this is the state when mind is calm, cool, so mind can visualize. We take the student to alpha state, and over there he will be making a balance in mental visualization and physical visualization. What student wants to get, he will be visualized in his alpha state, will bring him in alpha state, where is calm, cool. So mental state and physical state, that will be creating balance. Then we have beta. Talk about beta. Beta is having 12 and above hertz. So this wave, if we measure it 12 and above hertz, it's a speed. And then we have a gamma state. Gamma state is 30 and above. So these are 5 waves of brains. And especially when we want to when we want to train student to learn certain things. So through NLP, we'll bring the student in alpha state. This is roundabout alpha state 8 to 12 hertz. So we'll bring the student in this state. There we will make differences. We can create coordinations in mental state and physical state. What student visualize and what he is going to achieve in the real state. So mental and physical state can be visualized, can be implemented in this state. We have delta, we have theta, we have alpha, we have beta, and we have finally gamma state. So these are 5 states, 5 waves in our brains, whatever is happening in our mind, that can even measure nowadays. Nowadays, scientists, physiologists, psychologists, neurologists, they are measuring the state of the waves. Sometimes we are in delta, we are theta, we are alpha, we are in beta, and sometimes we are in gamma state. So these states can be measured in hertz, and it is measurable nowadays. Hope you got idea about Wernicke area. You've got idea about Broca's area, motor cortex, which controls our muscle, whatever happening, and you have even learned about student neurolinguistic program. Student can be reprogrammed, redesigned. We can teach certain new skill to our student. They can even learn painting, even they can learn left and right hand. They can be taught to use left and right hand, left and right brains as well. They can use both sides of the brain, and they can do multiple work through student learning neurolinguistic program. Stay blessed and have a nice time.